The Quantum Assassin's Dilemma. The neon-drenched streets of Neo-Tokyo pulsed with life, a stark contrast to the cold emptiness of space that Lieutenant Jack Harper had grown accustomed to. His eyes, augmented with cutting-edge quantum vision tech, scanned the crowd, searching for threats. He was a long way from his post on the U.S. Artemis, Earth's most advanced starship, but the mission demanded secrecy. In his pocket, a small device hummed with barely contained energy, the quantum entanglement core. It was the key to humanity's survival, stolen from the Zinthari Empire at great cost. Jack's orders were clear: deliver the core to Earth's top scientists before the Zinthari realized it was missing. Little did Jack know, his every move was being watched by eyes far more advanced than his own. High above the cityscape, perched on a skyscraper's edge, Zora Xelith adjusted her photon sniper rifle. Her iridescent scales shimmered as she focused on her target. As the Zinthari Empire's top quantum assassin, she had never failed a mission. This human, this thief, would be no different. Zora's mind interfaced directly with her weapon, calculating wind speed, gravity, and even the curvature of space-time. One shot was all she needed. Her finger tensed on the trigger. But something made her hesitate. Through her scope, she saw Jack stop to help a child who had fallen, soothing the crying youngster with a gentle touch and a warm smile. It was unexpected. The Zinthari files had painted him as a ruthless soldier, a threat to galactic peace. This simple act of kindness didn't fit the profile. Zora shook off the doubt. Emotions were a weakness, one she had been engineered to overcome. She refocused, ready to take the shot. Suddenly, her neural implant buzzed with an urgent message. Abort mission. Target carries Omega-level tech. Capture alive at all costs. Frustration surged through Zora. Capture missions were messy, unpredictable. She preferred the clean finality of assassination. But orders were orders. Down on the street, Jack's quantum vision flared a warning. Someone was watching him. He ducked into a narrow alley, heart pounding. The intel said he had a 3-day head start. How had they found him so quickly? A shimmer in the air was his only warning. Zora materialized before him, her adaptive camouflage deactivating. Jack's breath caught in his throat. He had seen aliens before, but never one like her. Tall, lithe, with scales that seemed to absorb and reflect light in impossible ways. Her eyes, a swirling mix of silver and violet, locked onto his. Hand over the quantum entanglement core, human, Zora demanded, her voice a melodic hum that sent shivers down Jack's spine. Jack's hand instinctively went to his pocket. I can't do that. You have no idea what's at stake. Zora's lips curled into a predatory smile. Oh, but I do. That device could reshape the very fabric of reality. It's far too dangerous for your primitive species to control. Primitive? Jack scoffed. We managed to steal it from your advanced empire, didn't we? Something flashed in Zora's eyes, respect, perhaps, before it was quickly buried. An oversight that will soon be corrected. She lunged forward with inhuman speed, but Jack was ready. His military training kicked in, augmented by the experimental nanotech flowing through his veins. He dodged her first strike, countering with a swift jab to her midsection. To his shock, his fist passed right through her, a hologram. The real Zora struck from behind, her fingers finding pressure points that sent waves of paralyzing energy through Jack's body. He crumpled to the ground, muscles spasming. Impressive reflexes, Zora mused, kneeling beside him, but ultimately futile. As her hand reached for the device in his pocket, Jack managed to gasp out a word. Wait. Zora paused, curiosity getting the better of her. Last words, human. Jack's eyes met hers, filled with a determination that caught her off guard. You're making a mistake. The core, it's not a weapon. It's the key to saving both our species. Zora's brow furrowed. Explain. Quickly, fighting through the paralysis, Jack spoke rapidly. The quantum rifts. They're expanding, consuming entire star systems. Your leaders are keeping it secret, but Earth discovered the truth. This core, it can seal the rifts, save countless lives. Zara's mind raced. The quantum rifts were classified at the highest level. How could this human know? Unless... A distant explosion rocked the alley. Zara's implant flared with warnings. Somehow, Jack's allies had found them. In that moment of distraction, Jack activated his final desperate gambit. The experimental nanotech in his bloodstream surged, temporarily overriding Zara's paralysis. He lunged forward, his hand brushing against her arm. A blinding flash of light engulfed them both. When Zara's vision cleared, she found herself elsewhere. The alley was gone, replaced by a sterile white room. Jack stood before her, looking equally disoriented. What did you do?" Zara demanded, reaching for weapons that were no longer there. Jack looked around, a mix of awe and fear on his face. "I'm not sure. The core, I think it linked us somehow. Quantum entanglement on a biological level." Zara's scientific mind grasped the implications immediately. "Impossible. The energy required." "I know," Jack said softly. I think we're outside of normal space-time now." Before Zara could respond, the white room flickered. Suddenly, they were standing on a cliff overlooking a vast alien ocean. In the sky above, a quantum rift pulsed ominously, tendrils of chaotic energy reaching towards the planet. "This is Zinthar Prime," Zara whispered, recognition dawning. "My homeworld. But in the future." Jack nodded grimly. "The core doesn't just manipulate space. It can show us timelines, possibilities. This is what will happen if we don't work together." The scene shifted again. This time, they stood in an advanced laboratory. Humans and Zinthari worked side by side, using a device that looked like a more refined version of the quantum entanglement core. "And this," Jack said, "is what we could achieve." Zara's mind reeled. Everything she thought she knew, everything she had been trained for, was being challenged. She looked at Jack, seeing him truly for the first time. Not as a target, not as an enemy, but as a potential ally in a fight for survival. "If what you're saying is true," Zara said slowly, "then why run? Why not approach the Zinthari openly?" Jack's expression darkened. "Because not everyone wants peace. There are factions in both our governments that would use the core as a weapon. Damn the consequences. We needed proof and a way to bypass the bureaucracy." Zara nodded, understanding all too well the corruption that could fester in any system. "So what now? We're quantum entangled, thrown into some kind of space between spaces. How do we get back?" Jack reached out, offering her the quantum entanglement core. "Together. The core responds to conscious intent. If we both focus on returning, on using this knowledge to save our peoples." Zara hesitated for a moment, years of training and mistrust warring against the undeniable truth she had witnessed. Finally, she placed her hand on the core next to Jack's. Their eyes met, human and alien, no longer predator and prey, but partners in an impossible quest. "Ready?" Jack asked. Zara took a deep breath, feeling the hum of the core resonating with something deep inside her. "Ready." They focused their thoughts, envisioning their return, their mission, the future they had glimpsed. The white room blazed with energy once more. In a narrow alley in Neo-Tokyo, two figures materialized in a burst of quantum particles. Human and Zinthari, hands clasped around a device that hummed with unlimited potential. The hunt was over. A new journey, far more dangerous and far more important, had just begun. Zara looked at Jack, a wry smile playing on her alien features. "I hope you have a plan, human, because we've just made ourselves enemies of two of the most powerful factions in the galaxy." Jack grinned back, the weight of their shared vision filling him with determination. "Oh, I've got a few ideas. Ever heard of the Andromeda Resistance?" As sirens wailed in the distance, Zara and Jack slipped into the neon-lit night, an unlikely alliance forged in quantum fire, ready to reshape the very fabric of the universe. Quantum bonds and cosmic secrets. The Andromeda Resistance's hidden base thrummed with nervous energy. Nestled within the hollowed-out core of a rogue planet drifting between galaxies, it was a haven for rebels, outcasts, and visionaries from 100 different species. And now it was home to the most unlikely pair in the universe. Jack Harper, former Earth Alliance lieutenant turned galactic fugitive, stood before a holographic star map. His fingers danced through the projection, tracing the expanding network of quantum rifts that threatened to tear reality apart. Beside him, Zarek Selith watched with a mixture of fascination and unease. The Zinthari assassin-turned-ally was still adapting to her new role. Her iridescent scales shimmered as she absently touched the small bump growing beneath her uniform, a constant reminder of how much had changed in the past few months. "The rifts are spreading faster than we predicted," Jack muttered, his brow furrowed with concern. "We're running out of time." Zara placed a hand on his shoulder, her touch sending a slight quantum ripple through their shared connection. "We'll find a way, Jack. We have to." Their eyes met, a silent understanding passing between them. Their quantum entanglement had grown stronger since that fateful night in Neo-Tokyo. They could sense each other's emotions, share thoughts, even experience flashes of each other's memories. It was exhilarating, terrifying, and absolutely crucial to their mission. A loud crash from across the room broke their moment of connection. They turned to see Grix, a multi-limbed Arcturian engineer, tangled in a mess of wires and swearing colorfully in 5 different languages. "Problem with the quantum harmonizer?" Jack asked, trying to hide his amusement. Grix's eye stalks swiveled towards them. "This technology of yours is impossible. It defies every law of physics we know." "That's rather the point," Zara said dryly. She moved to help Grix, her enhanced Zinthari strength easily lifting the heavy machinery. "The core operates on principles beyond conventional science. That's why it's our only hope against the rifts." As they worked to stabilize the device, alarms suddenly blared throughout the base. Red emergency lights bathed the room in an ominous glow. "Proximity alert," shouted Lyra, the base's AI interface. Her holographic form materialized before them, looking uncharacteristically worried. "Unknown vessel approaching at superluminal speeds. It's like nothing I've ever seen before." Jack's hand instinctively went to the quantum entanglement core hanging at his belt. "Zinthari, Earth Alliance." Lyra's form flickered. "Negative. The energy signature is ancient, predating known galactic civilizations." A chill ran down Jack's spine. He exchanged a look with Zara, seeing his own fear reflected in her alien eyes. "The precursors," they whispered in unison. Myths, legends, whispered theories in the darkest corners of the scientific community. The precursors were said to be the original creators of the quantum rifts, an ancient race that had transcended physical form, ascending to become beings of pure energy and thought. If they were real, and if they had found the resistance base, battle stations, Jack ordered, his military training kicking in. "Grix, get that harmonizer online now." "Lyra, initiate stealth protocols." The base erupted into controlled chaos as rebels rushed to their positions. Zara moved with fluid grace, her assassin's instincts on high alert. But before anyone could reach their stations, reality shifted. The walls of the base seemed to ripple and dissolve. Jack felt a sensation of vertigo, as if the floor had dropped out from beneath him. He reached for Zara, their fingers intertwining as the world around them transformed. When the disorientation passed, they found themselves standing on what appeared to be a platform of pure light. All around them, the cosmos swirled in impossible colors and patterns. And before them stood something. It was difficult for Jack's human mind to process. A being of swirling energy, constantly shifting form. One moment it appeared humanoid, the next it was a writhing mass of tentacles, then a geometric pattern too complex to comprehend. "Greetings, children of the young races," a voice echoed in their minds. It was neither male nor female, neither singular nor plural. It simply was. Jack struggled to find his voice. You're a precursor." The being pulsed with what might have been amusement. "A crude label, but not inaccurate. We have been watching your efforts with great interest." Zara stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overcoming her fear. "The quantum rifts, you created them." Created, discovered, became, such limited concepts you still cling to. The precursor's form rippled. "The rifts are gateways, pathways to realities beyond your comprehension. But they were never meant to interact with your level of existence. They're tearing our universe apart," Jack exclaimed. "Entire star systems are being erased from existence." The precursor's energy darkened. "An unfortunate side effect. Your species were not meant to advance so quickly. The rifts should have remained dormant for eons more." Zara's hand unconsciously went to her abdomen. "Please," she said softly. "There must be a way to stop them. Our child, all our children, they deserve a future." The precursor's form stilled, focusing on Zara with an intensity that made Jack's skin crawl. Fascinating. A quantum-entangled hybrid gestation. Such a thing should not be possible. Before either of them could react, a tendril of energy reached out, gently touching Zara's bump. Jack moved to intervene, but found himself frozen in place. "Peace, young one," the precursor's voice soothed. "No harm will come to your mate or offspring. In fact, this may be the solution we have long sought." The tendril withdrew, and Jack found he could move again. He immediately wrapped a protective arm around Zara. "What do you mean, solution?" The precursor's form expanded, enveloping them in a cocoon of swirling energy. Suddenly, Jack and Zara's minds were flooded with information. The true nature of the quantum rifts, the delicate balance of realities, and the key to controlling it all. "Your child," the precursor explained, "is a bridge between worlds. Human adaptability, Xynthari precision, and the quantum bond you share. It is a combination we could not have foreseen. With proper guidance, this new life could become the guardian of the rifts, maintaining the balance we can no longer sustain." Jack's mind reeled at the implications. "You're saying our baby is going to be some kind of cosmic keystone." "If you choose to accept this path," the precursor cautioned, "we cannot, will not, force this destiny upon you. The choice must be yours." Zara met Jack's gaze, a whirlwind of emotions passing between them through their quantum link. Fear, hope, determination, love, it all swirled together into a singular resolve. "We'll do it," Zara said firmly. "For our child, for all children. We'll find a way to make this work." Jack nodded, squeezing her hand. "Whatever it takes. We're in this together." The precursor's energy pulsed with approval. "Then let your training begin. Time is fluid here. We have both moments and millennia to prepare you for what is to come." As the cosmic classroom shimmered into existence around them, Jack couldn't help but smile. Here they were, a human soldier and a Xynthari assassin, expecting a child destined to save reality itself. "You know," he whispered to Zara, "when I stole that quantum core, I never imagined it would lead to this." Zara's lips curled into a wry smile. "And I never imagined failing to kill you would be the best thing that ever happened to me." As the first lesson in manipulating the very fabric of space-time began, Jack and Zara stood ready to face whatever the universe had in store. Their journey had only just begun, but with the power of quantum entanglement and love on their side, the future looked brighter than ever. The cosmic cradle. The swirling nebula of the quantum nursery pulsed with otherworldly energy, a kaleidoscope of colors never before seen by human or Xynthari eyes. At its heart, suspended in a cocoon of pure possibility, floated Zara and Jack's unborn child, a being destined to bridge realities. 9 months had passed in the outside world, but here, in this pocket dimension created by the precursors, time flowed differently. For Jack and Zara, It had been both an eternity and an instant, filled with intense training, mind-bending revelations, and a love that transcended species. "It's time," the precursor's voice echoed through their minds. The entity had become both mentor and midwife, guiding them through this unprecedented cosmic pregnancy. Zora's iridescent scales shimmered with anticipation and nerves. Jack squeezed her hand, sending waves of comfort through their quantum bond. They had prepared for this moment, but the magnitude of what they were about to do was almost overwhelming. "Remember," the precursor cautioned, "your child will be born with the power to manipulate quantum reality itself. You must guide them, teach them balance, or the very fabric of existence could unravel." Jack nodded, his jaw set with determination. "We're ready." With a thought, the precursor dissolved the quantum cocoon. Zora gasped as contractions began, unlike anything a normal synthery or human birth could produce. Waves of energy rippled through the nebula, causing micro-rifts to open and close around them. "Focus, Zora," Jack urged, channeling his own quantum energy to support her. "We can do this." As Zora pushed, the very stars seemed to hold their breath. Reality flickered and warped around them, responding to the immense power of the life coming into being. With a final, reality-shaking effort, their child entered the universe. The baby's cry echoed across dimensions, a sound of pure joy and limitless potential. Tears streamed down Jack's face as he cradled the newborn, a perfect blend of human and synthery features, with eyes that swirled with the same cosmic energy as the quantum rifts themselves. "It's a girl," he whispered in awe. "Our little Nova." Zora reached out, her fingers gently caressing Nova's cheek. The moment they touched, a surge of quantum energy pulsed through all three of them, strengthening their bond in ways they couldn't have imagined. The precursor's energy swirled around them, a protective cocoon for this new family. "The child is born, but your journey is far from over. You must return to your realm now, to face the challenges that await and to prepare Nova for her destiny." Reality shifted once more, and suddenly they were back on the rogue planet, in the heart of the Andromeda Resistance Base. Alarms blared, and Lyra's holographic form appeared before them, looking frantic. "Jack, Zora, thank the cosmic constants you're back. We're under attack." The new parents exchanged a determined look. The universe wasn't going to give them a moment's rest. "Who is it this time?" Jack asked, already moving towards the command center with Nova securely in his arms. "Everyone," Lyra replied grimly. "The Zinthari Empire, Earth Alliance, and at least 3 other major galactic powers. They formed a temporary alliance to seize control of the quantum rifts, and your child." Zora's eyes narrowed, her assassin instincts kicking into high gear. "They'll have to go through us first." As if in response to the threat, Nova's eyes flashed with cosmic fire. The air around them shimmered, and for a brief moment, the attacking fleets outside were visible through the walls of the base, frozen in time. "Did she just?" Jack began, staring at his newborn daughter in amazement. "Create a localized time dilation field." Zora finished, equally awestruck. "Yes, I believe she did." They had known their child would be powerful, but this was beyond anything they had imagined. The precursor's voice echoed in their minds one last time. "Remember, young ones, with great power comes great responsibility. The fate of all realities rests in your hands now." As the time dilation field faded and the sounds of battle resumed outside, Jack and Zora shared a look of pure determination. They had faced impossible odds before and emerged victorious. Now, with Nova in their arms and the power of the cosmos at their fingertips, they were ready to take on the entire universe if necessary. "Lyra," Jack commanded, his voice ringing with authority, "initiate Protocol Stardust. We're taking this fight to them." The A's eyes widened. "But sir, that protocol was deemed too dangerous, too unpredictable." Zora smiled, a fierce glint in her eye. "Unpredictable is exactly what we need right now." As the base shuddered under the assault of the combined fleets, the small family stood strong. Nova cooed softly, unaware that her very existence was about to change the course of galactic history. Jack looked at Zara, then down at their daughter, ready to show the universe what a real family can do. Zara nodded, her scales gleaming with battle-ready energy. Let's rewrite reality. With a shared thought, they activated the quantum entanglement core. The device hummed to life, resonating with the innate power of their newborn child. As the walls of the base began to dissolve around them, replaced by the swirling chaos of quantum space, one thing was certain: the universe would never be the same again. Quantum rebellion. The fabric of space-time rippled and tore as the Stardust Protocol activated. Jack, Zara, and baby Nova found themselves hurtling through a kaleidoscope of realities, each one a glimpse of what could be, what might have been, and what should never come to pass. "Hold on," Jack shouted, his arms wrapped protectively around Nova as Zara guided their quantum trajectory. The infant giggled, her eyes swirling with cosmic energy, completely unfazed by the mind-bending journey. They emerged in the heart of the combined fleet, their sudden appearance causing chaos among the attacking ships. Alarms blared across 100 vessels as sensors struggled to comprehend the impossible energy readings emanating from the small family. "Attention all vessels," Zara's voice boomed across every communication channel, amplified by the power of the quantum entanglement core. "This is your only warning. Stand down, or face the consequences of meddling with forces beyond your comprehension." On the bridge of the Zinthari flagship, Admiral Korax snarled in frustration. Impossible. How did they penetrate our defenses? He turned to his second-in-command. "Launch the nullifier missiles. We must contain that abomination." Sleek, dark projectiles streaked towards Jack, Zara, and Nova. Designed to negate quantum phenomena, they were the ultimate weapon against the rifts, and potentially against Nova herself. But the missiles never reached their target. Nova's eyes flashed, and reality seemed to hiccup. The missiles simply ceased to exist, erased from time itself as if they had never been launched. Did you see that?" stammered a young Earth Alliance ensign, her eyes wide with fear and awe. Admiral Korax's mandibles clicked in agitation. "Impossible. Nothing can simply erase." His words were cut short as the flagship's systems suddenly went haywire. Across the entire fleet, ships began to lose power, weapons systems misfired, and navigation computers spewed nonsensical coordinates. In the quantum maelstrom at the heart of the fleet, Jack and Zara shared a proud look. "That's our girl," Jack beamed, as Nova giggled and reached out towards the stars with chubby fingers. But their moment of triumph was short-lived. A massive energy surge erupted from the Zinthari flagship, cutting through the quantum interference. "Graviton cannon," Zara shouted, recognizing the deadly weapon from her days in the Empire. The blast of hypercondensed gravity waves hurtled towards them, threatening to crush them into singularity. Jack's mind raced, searching for a solution, when suddenly, everything stopped. The graviton beam hung frozen in space, mere meters from their position. The fleet, the stars, even the dust particles floating in the void, all motionless. Nova's eyes glowed with an intensity that rivaled suns. She'd have frozen time itself on a scale never before witnessed. "Jack," Zara whispered, awe and concern mixing in her voice. "This is too much power for her. She's just a baby, she can't control it." As if in response to her mother's words, cracks began to appear in the fabric of space-time around them. Through the fissures, they could see glimpses of other realities bleeding through. Worlds where the Zinthari never evolved, where humanity had spread across 1,000,000 galaxies, where the universe itself was slowly unraveling. "We have to do something," Jack exclaimed, feeling the strain on their quantum bond as Nova's power threatened to tear reality apart. Zara's scientific mind raced, piecing together everything they had learned from the precursors. "The core," she said suddenly. "We need to use the quantum entanglement core to stabilize her power, channel it safely." Jack nodded, understanding instantly. They placed their hands on the device hanging at his belt, focusing their thoughts and pouring their own quantum-entangled energy into it. The core pulsed with blinding light, creating a feedback loop with Nova's incredible power. Slowly, carefully, they began to guide the tsunami of cosmic energy, smoothing out the ripples in reality. As the cracks in space-time began to seal, Zara had an epiphany. Jack, we can use this. We can show them, all of them, what's really at stake. Understanding dawned in Jack's eyes. With a shared thought, they expanded the quantum field, encompassing the entire fleet. In an instant, every being on every ship was bombarded with visions. The true nature of the quantum rifts, the delicate balance of realities, the cosmic importance of their child, and the catastrophic consequences of their conflict. They saw worlds consumed by expanding rifts, civilizations erased from existence, and the very foundations of reality crumbling. But they also witnessed the potential for harmony, for a universe where the rifts were conduits of knowledge and exploration rather than destruction. As the visions faded and time resumed its normal flow, a stunned silence fell across the fleet. Admiral Corax was the first to break it, his voice shaky but filled with newfound resolve. All ships, stand down. I repeat, stand down. Similar orders echoed across the fleet as leaders from every faction grappled with what they had witnessed. In the center of it all, Nova's glow subsided, and she drifted off to sleep in her father's arms, exhausted by her reality-altering tantrum. Jack and Zara exchanged a weary but victorious smile. I think, Jack said softly, we just changed the course of galactic history. Zara nodded, gently stroking Nova's cheek. And it's only the beginning. As the once hostile fleet began to gather around them, not in aggression but in curiosity and cautious hope, Jack and Zara knew that their greatest challenge lay ahead. They had to forge a new path for the galaxy, with their incredible daughter at its center. The war was over before it truly began. Now, the real work of building a future that could withstand the cosmic forces at play could finally start. Nova stirred in her sleep, a tiny smile on her face. In her dreams, realities danced, and the universe sang a lullaby of infinite possibilities. Cosmic convergence. The great hall of harmony buzzed with an energy unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Representatives from every major civilization, and even some previously unknown species drawn by the cosmic disturbance, gathered on the neutral planet of Nexus Prime. At the center of it all stood Jack, Zara, and little Nova, now a precocious 5-year-old with the power to reshape reality at will. Order, please, boomed the voice of Chancellor Zik, a being of pure light and the chosen mediator for this unprecedented galactic summit. We are here to discuss the future of our universe and the role of the quantum child. Nova giggled, her laughter causing ripples of quantum energy to dance across the hall. Several delegates gasped, a mixture of awe and fear in their eyes. Jack stepped forward, his voice steady despite the weight of trillions of lives resting on his words. 5 years ago, we stood on the brink of a war that would have torn reality apart. Today, we stand united, seeking a way forward that benefits all. Zara joined him, her scaled hand intertwined with his. We've spent these years learning to harness and control Nova's abilities, but she is still a child, and the power she wields is greater than any single species should control. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Admiral Corax, now a staunch ally, raised a clawed hand. What do you propose? We cannot simply ignore the quantum rifts. They still pose a threat to countless worlds. Nova's eyes flashed, and suddenly a miniature galaxy materialized above the center of the hall. Gasps of wonder echoed as delegates saw their homeworlds, the rifts, and the delicate web of quantum energy connecting it all. I can fix it, Nova said, her childish voice carrying the weight of universes. But I need help. Jack nodded encouragingly. Nova has a vision, a way to stabilize the rifts and turn them from a threat into a resource. But it will require cooperation on a scale we've never achieved before. Zara stepped forward, her scientific mind translating Nova's incredible insights into terms the delegates could understand. We propose the creation of a cosmic convergence network, quantum relay stations positioned at key points throughout the galaxy, manned by representatives from every world. The holographic display shifted, showing a web of energy connecting the rifts, stabilizing them, and channeling their power safely. These stations, Jack continued, will not only monitor and maintain the rifts, but also serve as hubs of cultural exchange and scientific advancement. Together, we can turn the greatest threat our universe has ever faced into the foundation of a new golden age. The hall erupted into a cacophony of voices, excitement, skepticism, and fear all mixing together. Chancellor Zig raised his luminous arms for silence. "This is an ambitious proposal," the Chancellor mused. "But how can we be certain it will work? And more importantly, how can we trust that this power won't be abused?" Nova's little face scrunched up in concentration. Suddenly, every being in the hall felt a gentle touch on their mind, not an invasion, but an invitation. "See," Nova said simply. In an instant, the delegates were transported through a vision of possibilities. They saw worlds ravaged by unchecked rifts, civilizations falling into chaos as they fought over dwindling resources. But they also witnessed the potential of the Convergence Network, a galaxy united, exploring the mysteries of the cosmos together, using the power of the rifts to cure diseases, terraform barren worlds, and even travel to other dimensions. As the vision faded, there wasn't a dry eye or equivalent sensory organ in the hall. "It's not just about saving our universe," Zara said softly. "It's about reaching our true potential as sentient beings." Jack knelt beside Nova, putting a hand on her shoulder. "Our daughter may have the power to reshape reality, but she's shown us something even more important, the power of choice. We can choose fear and conflict, or we can choose hope and unity." The hall was silent for a long moment. Then, slowly, beings began to stand. It started with Admiral Korax, then spread like a wave, representatives from every world rising to their feet in a show of support. Chancellor Zeich's light pulsed with approval. Then it is decided, let the creation of the Cosmic Convergence Network begin. As the hall erupted into cheers and excited discussion, Jack and Zara shared a loving look. Their journey had been incredible, from enemies to lovers, from fugitives to the guardians of cosmic balance, and it was only the beginning. Nova tugged at her parents' hands, her eyes swirling with the colors of 1,000 realities. "Can we go explore a new dimension now? Pretty please." Jack laughed, scooping her up into his arms. "How about we start with ice cream, kiddo? We'll save the dimension hopping for after your nap." Zara smiled, her heart full of love for her impossible family. As they left the great hall, heads held high, she knew that whatever challenges the future held, they would face them together. The universe watched in anticipation as a new era dawned, one of unity, discovery, and limitless potential. And at its heart, a little girl with the power to reshape reality, guided by the love of two beings who had defied the odds to forge a bond that transcended species, planets, and the very fabric of spacetime itself. As Nova skipped ahead, leaving quantum sparkles in her wake, Jack leaned in close to Zara. "You know," he whispered, a mischievous glint in his eye, "I'm really glad my assassination didn't work out." Zara laughed, a sound like tinkling crystals. "And I'm glad you were a terrible fugitive." Hand in hand, they stepped into their new future, ready for whatever cosmic adventures awaited.